G'day folks, with world domination on the agenda for all the major social platforms, the way we watch videos has done a full 360, or 90 degrees to be exact. In this video, I'm going to share with you some aspect ratio tips and tricks that will help you get the most out of your videos when it comes time to upload to the major social platforms. You would have thought people were on crazy pills 20 years ago if they started talking about turning their TV sideways to watch their favourite TV shows. With people being joined at the hip these days to their mobile phones, it's a simple ergonomics thing where it's just more efficient and comfortable to hold your phone in portrait mode than landscape mode. Therefore, the majority of smartphone users are watching videos vertically. The aspect ratios we're going to look at today is 1:1, 4:5, 16:9 and 9:16. Now, what the hell do all these numbers mean, you may be asking yourself? The first number represents the width of the video and the second number represents the height of the video. The key to maximising engagement is to use as much real estate as the platforms will allow. If your audience has to squint to see your content or you're chopping off vital parts of your video, there's always another piece of content only a swipe away. So bring your A game to keep people glued to your exquisitely framed video. Okay, so let's start with Instagram. Now, if your video is under a minute and you want to put it up on the news feed, the best aspect ratio I've found is 4:5. This will give you a little extra length vertically for people to stop on your vid while scrolling through. How I do this is I create a new project and then create a custom resolution of 1080 by 1350. You do have the option to send it over to Facebook, but Facebook makes this aspect look pretty ugly as it'll chop off the sides and make the video look thin. The best aspect ratio for Instagram stories is 9:16. This will use your whole screen vertically. To create this aspect ratio, again, I create a custom resolution of 1080 by 1920. Now, if you're shot on a DSLR or mirrorless camera in 16:9 mode and you're finding it hard to use all the vertical space, there's always a few creative ways to make your video look a little sexier. Firstly, put the video in the middle and create text above and below the video. If you forget to do this when editing, no dramas, you can add it in the app itself. Another creative way is to layer 3 vids on top of each other to fill the space. If you whack a 16:9 video straight up on Insta Stories, you're wasting a lot of space. You want to think about creating videos that are visually appealing to the eye, so that's why having a good grasp on all these aspect ratios will help. IGTV, like Insta Stories, works best with a 9:16 aspect. Moving your clip left or right to have it in frame is something you should get used to doing with all these social vids. One thing to take into consideration though is the Insta newsfeed will show a preview of your IGTV in the 4:5 aspect ratio, which will crop the top of your video, so just something to take into consideration when framing your shots. Let's move on to Facebook. The best aspect ratio I've found for video is 1:1. To create this aspect ratio, I create a custom resolution of 1080 by 1080. The same rule applies for LinkedIn. You want to make a 1:1 square video. Remember also you want to maximize these platforms on both desktop and mobile, so the square aspect of 1:1 is perfect for that. YouTube is the easiest to deal with out of the lot as its aspect ratio is generally native to what we shoot in, that being 16:9. To create this project, I use a resolution of 1920 by 1080. So to recap, for Insta news feeds, we want a 4:5 aspect ratio with a resolution of 1080 by 1350. For Instagram stories and IGTV, we want an aspect ratio of 9:16 with a resolution of 1080 by 1920. Remember, IGTV crops your video to 4:5 in the news feed. Both LinkedIn and Facebook like a square aspect ratio of 1:1 with a resolution of 1080 by 1080. And for the YouTubers, we want to shoot in a 16:9 ratio with a resolution of 1920 by 1080, which is native to most cameras. So to wrap it up, if your videos look hideous when you try to adjust it left or right, or it detracts from the story you're trying to tell, then get a little creative to maximize this space. But if you're cropping too much and biting off more than you can chew, leaving it in its native aspect ratio, which is generally 16:9, will still work on all these platforms. Posting something of value is always better than posting nothing. A great idea is to shoot content with a platform aspect ratio in mind. You can always put some tape on your monitor to help visualize the shot. Remember, on each platform, you're talking to a different set of eyes, so adjust your content creation to allow for this. So that's it for now. Let us know in the comments below on your experiences with aspect ratios. If you want your videos to look better, then make sure you grab our free download in the descriptions below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel wherever you may be watching this video. Back to you guys in the studio.